Let this hour be all about you. So we're going to start with the hands on the knees. Just an easy seated posture. We're going to sit up evenly in both hips. We're going to bring the shoulders back slightly. Think about knitting the front ribs in if you can so that you engage in the upper abs. And then close your eyes just for a moment. If it's customary for you to set an intention for your practice, you can do that now. Maybe dedicating this next hour to someone or something in your life. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Finding that ujjayi breath, that constriction in the back of the throat, ocean breath. Keep your eyes closed if you want. We're coming into seated cat and cow. So inhale, lift your heart, lift your chin, look up, and then exhale, round your spine, spread your shoulder blades, bring your chin towards your chest. Lifting up, inhale, heart forward, look to the sky, exhale, round, spread your shoulder blades. Again, big breath in, lift up, look forward, exhale and rounding. Finding your center, switch the cross of your legs to that less intuitive crossing, and then bring your fingertips down to the ground. Sweep your arms up by your ears, big breath in here, and then to the right side, look up past your underarm. Without pushing off the mat, come back to the center. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, other side. And then with your own breath pattern, inhale, lift up, hollow your waist, exhale, right side. Side to side, your breath, your perfect pace. This time, finding a twist. Tall spine, inhale, twist to the right, look over your back shoulder. And then inhale, recenter, maybe look up to your thumbs, laying your head back, twist to the other side on the exhale. Again, moving with your breath. You can close your eyes if you want, whatever feels right to you. Recenter, and then interlace your fingers. You're going to press up through your palms toward the sky, and then arch your spine. Bring your hands back, really lengthening the front body. Lift your gaze, look up to the ceiling, and then round forward, press towards me. Spread your upper back, bring your chin down towards your chest. Recentering once more. Reach your arms up toward the sky, bend your right elbow, and then press up, bend the left. Center, float your fingertips down onto the ground, and then draw your chin down towards your chest. When you're ready, spread your fingers wide. Go ahead and make your way into all fours. So shoulders are going to be over the wrist, your hips are going to be over the knees. And then take a moment, roll your shoulders back, and then really push into the ground. Spread your fingers wide. Coming into our classical cat and cow, inhale, anterior tilt to the pelvis, lift your chin, start at your tailbone, round up one vertebrae at a time, coming into cat. Inhale, belly down, look forward, and then exhale, round. And then again with your breath. Find a neutral spine, but really push the ground away. Protract your shoulder blades. So we're going to retract like we're squeezing a pencil between the shoulder blades, and then spread your shoulders, lift up. So squeezing, and then spread your upper back, widen your back. Once more, lower. Stay in this protracted position. Hollow out your belly, curl your toes, hover your knees just for a moment. And then up and back into downward dog. Alternate bending your knees. Maybe finding some organic movement in the hips. So if it feels good for you, shift side to side. You can turn your heels. Recenter, come up high on your tiptoes. Press your heart back towards your knees, and then start to bring your heels closer to the ground. Keep your knees soft if you need to, and then we'll lower the knees to the mat, finding tabletop once more. Flatten your feet, press back into child's pose. So we're going to move with the breath, coming into all fours as we inhale, curl the toes, come into downward dog on an exhale. Knees down, inhale, and then exhale, child's pose. Again, moving with your breath through those same series of postures, tabletop, and then downward dog. Tabletop, and child's pose. All fours. And the next time you find yourself in downward dog, please stay there. Lift your chin, look to your thumbs, and then tiptoe your feet forward. Nice. Halfway lift, hands at the shins. We're flattening the back. And then fold, bring your elbows wide, bring your chin down towards your chest. Reverse swan dive, sweep your arms up over your head. And then palms together, look up to your thumbs. Right down the midline, like you're slicing right all the way down, forward fold. Halfway lift once more. Big fold, elbows are wide. Rise all the way up. And then bring your hands to your heart. So coming into mountain, roll your shoulders back. Bring your sternum up towards your thumbs. And again, close your front ribs in, lift your kneecaps. Coming into full mountain Tadasana with the palms forward. Rise up, inhale. Big fold, exhale. Halfway lift. Step back with your right foot and then lower down to your right knee. So those of you that need to, you're going to fold the mat in and give yourself a little extra cushion under the back knee. We want the weight above the patella, above the kneecap of the back leg. Press your hips forward. And then bring that right hand under your shoulder. Like you're drawing back a bow. Lift the left, look up to your thumb. And then, if it's available, bring your left hand outside your left foot and start to bring the right hand up, looking up. Gaze follows the hand. What's happening in the hips at this moment? Both hands down, press your hips back, lift your toes, and then little wiggle side to side. Just maybe your knees soft. If you want to have that leg straight, you can. Just shifting the hips. Your toes going to follow. External rotation, internal rotation. There's a lot of movement in this front leg. Recenter, and then bring your left hip back. Start to hinge forward. So with your hands framing the front foot, we'll find movement here. Inhale, pressing the hips forward. Bring the shoulders back, and then exhale back to that half split. Inhale forward, and exhale back. The next time you find yourself in that low lunge, Anjaneyasana, stay here. Curl your back toes, bring your hands onto the ground, and then step back into plank. Good. Spread your fingers like you're clawing into the mat, and then bring your knees down to the ground. Bring your chest down, elbows brushing the ribs. Little lift to the heart, baby cobra, and then lower down. Come into all fours, curl your toes, roll back into downward dog. Couple breaths here, spreading the upper back. Lift your chin, look to your thumbs, tiptoe your feet all the way forward. Halfway lift once more, drape yourself forward, exhale. Rise all the way up. This time cactusing the arms, lift your chest, look to the ceiling. And then inhale, reach up tall, exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Step back with the left foot this time, lower down above your left kneecap. Left hand under the shoulder to start. Start to lift the right, broadening your chest. Right hand outside the right foot, lift the left. Both hands down, finding your half split. Little movement. Maybe rolling to the pinky toe and then in toward the big toe, side to side. And then recentering, finding that movement with the breath pattern. Inhale forward, exhale back. Keep checking in with your breath. And the next time you find yourself in low lunge, hands down, curl the back toes, step back into plank. We're going to step the feet out a little wider than the hips. Drop both heels over to the right side. So you can stay here and use your hands just as an anchor, or you can go ahead and lift up that left hand. Recentering, heels to the other side. Maybe you're holding strong with both hands. Maybe you're lifting that right hand. Recenter. Bring your knees to the mat. Press back. Let's take a child's pose just for a moment. Walk your hands over to the right side. Let your hips shift to the left, and then inch the left hand forward so you're lengthening the left side body. Walk your hands back through center and then over to the left side. Same thing, hips to the right, inch the right hand forward. Recenter your hands, roll up back into your tabletop. Curl your toes, come back into your downward dog. Lift your chin, look to your thumbs. High up on your toes, tiptoe forward, forward fold. Flatten, inhale, exhale, big fold. Rise up all the way up, big sweeping movement. Hands through heart center, back to Tadasana. So from here, step your feet out about hip width apart. About 2 fist widths apart is kind of the visual that you want to use for that. And then bring your arms up by your ears. Hold on to your right wrist with your left hand. We're going to step that right foot over to the left And then lengthen the right side. Look up to the sky. Really pressing into this left foot. Strengthen your transitions back to your center and then other side. So lengthening from the outside of that left heel all the way up the ribs, all the way up to your wrist. And then really rolling into the right foot, come back to center. Bring your hands to your heart, coming into chair, and so we're going to roll the shoulders back. So options here. Some people find this more comfortable. Some people like to bring this arm position. Full posture, arms by the ears, start to lower down. Look down. If you can see your toes, that's where you want to be. If your knees are forward, rock back into the heels, lower down a little more. If it's available, start to lift your heels. A little lower if you can. Big breath in. Forward fold, exhale. Heels down. Flatten your back with an inhale. Step back with the right foot, coming into warrior one. Back toes turning in. Bend your left knee. Bring your arms up. We'll draw the left hip back. Lift the arch of your back foot. And then hands to the hips. Roll your shoulders back. Start to straighten your front leg. Fold halfway down. Crown of the head level with the hips. Keep rolling your shoulders back, lengthening the back of your neck, lengthening your spine. Bend your front knee back to one. Opening into warrior two. When you're ready, widen your stance. Heels, ankles are going to be underneath the wrists. And then spiral your thigh out toward the pinky toes, so out towards the outside toes. When you're ready, cartwheel down. We're going to make our way back to downward dog. Bring your knees to the mat. Shoulders back, press your heart down. Little baby lift just to the base of the ribs. Lower. All fours. Downward dog. Lift your chin, lift your heels, tiptoe feet forward. Flatten your back. Big fold. Right into chair this time. Drop your hips, arms by the ears. Lift your heels if you want. Drop your hips. Root down to rise. This time, cactus your arms. Lift your chest. Breath in, inhale. Fold, exhale. Flatten your back. Left foot comes back as you come into warrior one. Settling in, bend your front knee, lift the arch of your back foot. Hands to the hips. Strong through the front of the chest. We're straighten the right leg. Come down halfway. Bend your front knee once more back to your one. And then opening into warrior two. Bring it down, back to downward dog. High up on your toes, Roll forward into plank, one vertebrae at a time. Very slowly, take your time. Good. Maybe you're rolling forward on your toes, just a subtle movement. Knees down, chest down. Little lift, lead with the shoulders, lead with the sternum. And then lower. All fours back to downward dog. Take about 3 breaths in your downward dog. In through the nose, out through the mouth if your breath is getting away from you. And then bring your knees to the mat. Let's bring the feet together, bring the knees out wide. Press back into child's pose. Slowly coming back to your tabletop. And then we'll find a side body constriction. So you're going to bring the hands under the shoulders, roll the shoulders back. And then to the right side. So bring your right shoulder back, bring your right hip towards your shoulder, and then center. So side to side, you're going to look over the shoulder and center. Neutral spine. Walk your hands forward so that you can come into modified plank. Roll your shoulders back and then start to press down, all the way down. Bring your hands out wide so your fingertips will be elbow width apart. So up on the fingertips, stay in your hands are like tents here. Roll your shoulders back, lift up as you inhale, and then slowly exhale, maybe even tapping your forehead all the way to the mat. Roll up, inhale, and exhale. Again, lift up and lower. So this time we'll stay lifted. Your tops of the feet are rooted down. We'll drop the right shoulder, look over the left. And then recentering, drop the left shoulder, look over the right. And then center all the way down. Hands by the ribs. You can press into tabletop or plank, either one, and then back to downward dog. From your downward dog, lift your right leg high, toes pointing straight down. And then start to draw your knee into your chest. Come forward to plank. Plant the right foot between the hands. Back heel's coming down. We're coming into warrior two. Flip your front palm. Reverse warrior. Option 1, back arm around the lower back. Look up to the ceiling. Or you can bring this back hand down your calf. Let's stay here. It should feel good. Big bend to the front knee, y'all. Come on, good. And then that right side body nice and long. Into side angle. Beginners will bring the elbow to the thigh. And just roll your top shoulder back. If you're a little more advanced, you want to bring that bottom hand down to the ground, you can. Top arm reaching to the ceiling. And then lift up to come out back to your reverse warrior. Cartwheel your hands down. This time we'll step the back foot forward, forward fold. Halfway lift and then fold, coming into ragdoll, opposite hand to opposite elbow, sway side to side, let your knees bend. Just try to hold your weight evenly in both feet. Hands on the mat, halfway lift, press your heart forward. And then fold, jump or step back to your plank. Knees on the mat, chest on the mat. We're coming into Cobra. This time, no hands. Float your hands off the mat. Lift your heart. Bring your elbows back. Keep your feet down. Hands by the ribs. Pressing into tabletop or plank, and then back to your downward dog. When you're ready, lift the left foot high. Lead with the heel. Bring your knee into your chest, roll forward to plank. Float your left foot between your hands. Back heel down, find your warrior two. Again, check in with that front knee. Widen your stance, ankles under the wrist. Good, good, good. Flip your front palm. Your version of reverse warrior, whatever that might be on this side. Maybe this side wants to do a little less. Maybe you can bend into that knee a little deeper, come down and low, a little lower. When you're ready, start to move toward your side angle. Beginners, you're here with me. Again, trying to rotate your chest toward the ceiling and worry about that rotation more than the upper arm, like that lifted hand. Really bringing the heart towards the sky. And then bend your front knee, maybe just another inch. Press into your back heel. Use that as an anchor. Rise all the way back up. Forward fold when you're ready. Flatten your back. Heel toe your feet out to the edges of the mat, and then soften your knees. Go ahead and fold, hold your elbows. Find that wide leg ragdoll, big sway side to side this time. Recentering your hands, bring your feet back to your first position underneath the hips. Check in with the fists, make sure you're 2 fist widths apart. And then as you fold, hold on to the outside of your calves, bring your elbows wide, bring your chin down towards your chest. Soften your knees if you need to. Nod your head yes, shake your head no. Flatten your back, inhale. As you fold, step back with your right foot. Keep your right heel off the mat, coming into high lunge. So square your hips first and then bring your arms by your ears. And then really push back through that back heel, start to lower down. Want to get parallel with this front leg. Bring your left hip back just slightly. And then with your left hand, hold on to your right wrist. Reach to the left side. Finding your center, hold on, lengthen the other side. Recenter. From here, extend your arms, bring your back heel down, you're back to your warrior two. Straightening your front leg. We're moving towards triangle. Bring your hand inside your ankle. You can touch the ground or you can just float that hand up off the mat, but look up toward the ceiling if you can. And then again, press through your back heel, reverse triangle. Back arm around the low back, extend your side body. Once more, forward fold. Take your time, making your transitions as strong as the postures themselves. Flattening your back, we'll come back to chair, hips down, arms by the ears. Those of you that want to lift your heels, you can, but bring your shoulder blades back, lift your chest, sit down a little lower. Rise all the way up. Open your chest, bring your elbows back, look up high, broadening your chest as much as possible, and then inhale, arms up, big fold. Flatten once more, left foot back. Back, starting with lunge. Press through your heel first, keep your hips down low, and then bring your arms by your ears. Just take a moment, settle in, make whatever adjustments you need to make, and then hold on to your right wrist, reach to the left side. Centering, and then other side. Center. Lift up onto your toes first. Pivot your back heel and then come into your warrior two. Again, set up, build from the ground up. Front knee spiraling outward. Straighten your front leg, your version of triangle on this side. Press to your back heel, lift straight up first, then finding reverse triangle. Back arm wraps around the low back. Level your hips. Forward fold. Flatten your back on an inhale and then make your way back to your plank. Bring your knees to the mat. Bring your chest to the mat. Inhale, roll up. Big fold, exhale. Come into all fours. And then go ahead and press back into your child's pose. We'll take the right arm, thread underneath the left. Rest on your right shoulder. Maybe come up onto your left fingertips if that's comfortable for you. And then switch sides. Up onto your right fingertips, thread your left arm underneath, rest on your left temple. And then both hands forward. If it's comfortable for you, bring your hands to your low back. Just give your shoulders a little pause. And then bring your hands back to the mat. Go ahead and come into all fours. So again, recentering. Bring your left hand behind your head. We're going to inhale, broaden the chest, look up to your elbow, and then with the exhale, tap the opposite arm. Inhale, keep your hips level. If this is easy for you, Engage your deep abdominals so that your hips are totally stable. Broad and big movement. Exhale. The next time you stay lifted, please stay there and then extend your top arm. Look up to your thumb. Broaden your chest. Staying on all fours, thread through. Bring your left arm down, come onto your left shoulder, left temple. And if you want, extend your right arm up, wrap around your low back. Recentering when you're ready, we'll move to the right side. Spread your left fingers wide, bring the right hand behind the head, and then lift and lower with your breath. Just going to do about 5. Stay lifted. Extend your right arm. Look up to your thumb. Thread through. Rest on your shoulder. Rest on your temple. Add the left arm if you like that half bind. Recenter your hands. So keep your hips directly over the knees. So think about how child's pose is way back here. We're going to stay up high and just walk our hands forward, working towards puppy. Lower your forehead down to the mat. Bend your elbows, bring your forearms down to the ground, and then go ahead and make your way to your belly. Roll your shoulders back, lift your heart. Look over your right shoulder. And then center, look over the left. And center, lift your elbows if you want. Same thing, right side. Left side. Center and all the way down. Bring your hands to your lower back. You're going to stack your hands. You can interlace your fingers if you want. As you lift, bring your shoulders back. Bring your knuckles towards your heels. Feet are going to stay on the ground to start. And then, again, a little bit more of a lift. And then all the way down. Hands at the ribs. Press back to child's pose. Take a break. Come into all fours. Curl your toes, downward dog. Bring your hands towards your feet. Walk your hands back to your feet. And then soften your knees, rise all the way up. Hands moving through heart center back into your mountain. Coming into balance. So we're going to find tree. Spread the left toes on the mat and bring your right heel so to your ankle. This is going to be option 1. Y'all can use the bar if you want. So option 1 is going to be here. Okay, option 2 at the calf. Option 3, you're going to be up high. If you're a half lotus person, you want to get crazy with it, you are welcome to do that. Otherwise, lift up with me, bring your shoulders back. And then bring this knee back. So you're going to think about this diagonal line, like, boop, that's going to the movement there. Add arms if you want. Maybe even close your eyes in this posture. But just think about rising up with an inhale and then bring that knee back with an exhale. And then if it's available to you, bring your arms wide. Maybe lift your gaze. And then slowly come down. Release. Shake out your feet. And then other side. Lift your toes, spread them wide. Set that foundation first, then bring that other foot. Tall spine, inhale, broaden on the exhale. Widen your arms, look up. And then palms together, release. Shake out your feet. We're going to come into wide leg fold. You can face me if you want, or you can turn sideways on your mat. We'll step our feet out wide. Turn the toes in just ever so slightly. Hands to the hips, keep your knees soft. Shoulders back. Lift up, inhale, halfway down, exhale. So see if you can roll your weight into your toes and then bring your arms out wide. Palms are going to face down. And then all the way folding, hands on the outside of your ankles, chin to the chest, knees are soft. Bring your hands under your shoulders, flatten your spine, and then bring that right hand underneath your heart. Left hand to the low back, rotate to the left side, look up past your shoulder. But then level your hips, especially if they're wanting to shift to one side. And then we'll switch. Other hand under your mouth, under your heart, opposite hand to your sacrum, and then rotate your chest. Recenter. Drape yourself forward, walk your hands underneath you. Some of y'all may want to turn your hands backwards and then gently press yourself down. You can do that, or you can just push into the mat, whatever feels good for you. Hands under the shoulders once more, flatten your back. And then however you like, walk your way back into downward dog. Lift your right heel, toes pointing straight down, three-leg dog, and then bend your knee. So you're going to open the hip, circle your ankle, and then bring your right knee outside your right wrist. We'll come into pigeon. And then as always, if you need to modify this, just come into a pinwheel variation. So you've got that back leg a little more relaxed. If you're in full pigeon with me, we're going to look over the shoulder, make sure your toes are straight out behind you. And then stack your hands, bring your forehead all the way down. So you can stay right here if this feels good, if this is what your body needs, stay here. If you want, extend your arms forward. And then walk over to the right side, just like we did in our opening. Maybe walk that left hand a little farther forward. And if that's you, walk over to the left side, just strengthening and lengthening the right. Recenter your hands under your shoulders. Lift your chest. To come out, curl your back toes under. We're coming back into three-leg dog. So lift up, bring your right knee up. And then find downward dog once more. We're switching sides. Lift the left heel, bend your knee, circle your ankle. Bring your left knee outside your left wrist or finding your pinwheel variation. And then check in, look at your alignment. And fold, stack your hands. Option to extend the arms forward, walking over to the left side first. And then over to the right. Hands under the shoulders. Broaden your chest, anchoring into the fingertips. Rise up, three-leg dog. And then both feet onto the mat. So in downward dog, step your feet together. So knees are touching, heels are touching. Come up high on your tiptoes, drop both heels to the right side and press back. And you'll feel this in the IT bands, maybe the calf. Lift your heels lower to the left side, same thing. Come back to your center. Let's come down to the knees and then drop your hips to one side. We'll swing the legs forward. Starting in staff, spread your fingers by your hips, bring your shoulders back. And then soften your knees, bring your arms by your ears. So inhale, tall spine. Exhale, come down halfway, reaching your sternum towards your toes. And then inhale, rise up. Back to that halfway point. Again, lifting up. Come halfway down and pause. And then float your hands outside your calves. Shoulders back on an inhale, and then exhale, deepen your fold. If it's comfortable, you can hold on to your feet, but no prize for the feet. And then slowly rise up. Start with the right foot inside your left inner thigh. And almost like bringing the knee back toward the hip is going to get that nice angle. We'll start to almost bring the heart towards your knee. So shoulders are going to be up. And then as you exhale, hinge forward, heart to the knee. Toes reaching back towards the crown of your head. And then rise up. So right hand is going to come underneath your shoulder. Start to lift up. Bring your left arm by your ear. Look to the ceiling. Bring your hips back to the mat and then back to that fold. And then switching sides. You can shift all the way over so that you've got space on the mat for your knee, just whatever feels good to you. Left foot on the inner thigh. Make whatever adjustments you need to make, and then hinge forward. Rise up. Left hand's coming underneath your shoulder. Sweep your right arm by your ear. Press your hips forward. And then slowly come down, little gentle counterfold. Maybe you're getting a little more mobility this time. Rise up. Bring the soles of your feet together. Hold on to your ankles if that's comfortable. Coming into bound angle. Sit up tall first. Another option, you're going to have the fingertips on the ground, or you can even just press behind, lift your chest. If you're with me in the classical posture, we're going to hinge forward, lead the heart toward the toes. And then rise all the way up. Gather up your knees. Bring your feet to the edges of the mat. Hands behind you. Drop your knees over to the left side. Look over your right shoulder. And then other side. And then centering. So coming into boat, bring your feet flat on the mat. Roll your shoulders back. Palms are going to be forward. Option one, we're just going to hinge back. Bring the arms parallel to the mat. Bring your shoulder blades together behind you. Option two, knees together. Float your feet up off the ground. Full posture, you're going to be here. If you're here in that starting point, keep bringing your shoulders together. Keep lifting your chest. Maybe you just float the heels up. Maybe you experiment with how high you want your feet to come. And then when you're ready, feet back to the mat. And then bring your hands to your shins. Seated cat and cow. Creating space all along the spine. Inhale, bring your heart forward. And then exhale, round. Sit up tall. Bring your hands behind your thighs. We're coming all the way down onto our backs. Gather your knees into your chest, rock side to side. Plant your left foot onto the ground and then extend your right leg. Just bring your hands behind your right calf. So breath in here, we're rooting down through the shoulders, and then as you exhale, press your shin close to your face. And then some of y'all may want to walk the left foot out. You can extend that left leg all the way. Just whatever feels right for you. If your left foot's flat with me, we're keeping the knee straight up to the ceiling. Right hand's coming inside that right ankle and start to lower to the right side. And then turn your head. Look past your left shoulder, but keep that left knee reaching straight up. And then lead with your right heel. Come back to the midline. Your left hand's coming outside your right ankle. We're going to find a twist. Lower your right foot all the way across the body. You can keep both knees bent. one knee bent, whatever feels good. Back to your starting point. Right foot on the ground, extend the left. And then again, rooting the shoulders, drawing your leg closer. Left foot to the side. Lead with your heel, twisting to the other side. Recenter. Hug your knees into your chest one last time. Rock side to side, releasing any tension that's gathered in the lower back. And then bring your hands to the soles of the feet, coming into happy baby. Any pose you want to add to your practice at this time, you can do that now. Otherwise, join me as we come all the way down onto our backs. We'll take just a brief Shavasana. Closing the eyes and then softening the breath. On your next inhale, begin to deepen your breath. Reach your arms over your head, reaching from your fingertips all the way to your toes. Extend your arms, maybe even arching the spine. Gather your knees into your chest, and let's go ahead and just rock back up into our seated position. We'll end our practice as we began today. And then breath in, arms by the ears. Exhale, hands to the heart. Thanks for joining me. As always, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be at ease. Namaste.